Hey, it's Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio and host of the syndicated talk show, People of Distinction. The talk that gives you an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, alcoleenterprises.com for more info. Email me directly through benji@alcoleenterprises.com if you'd like to get involved with what we have going. And as always, please continue to like and follow our broadcasts. People of Distinction is an internationally syndicated show solely due to the love and support that you all continue to show. We're available across all major podcast distributors. And like I mentioned, people, if you keep following, we're going to continue to put out the content. Now sit back and strap in because we are delighted to showcase this next guest on our network. And on the line with us today, we have the impressive Wayne Griffin. Now, we're going to be discussing Wayne's amazing book, Elizabeth Taylor, My Celebrity Connection. Available for purchase through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all the regular online book resellers. But people, listen to me when I tell you, if you want to gather everything that Wayne has in store, you're going to have to check out his personal site, Elizabeth Taylor, My Celebrity Connection.info. There, you're going to gather more information on Wayne himself, more information on this fantastic book, as well as find hyperlinks set up to take you to the purchasing pages and so much more. Again, that's Elizabeth Taylor, My Celebrity Connection.info. Head on over there today, figure out why you need to get involved. And listen, it is a true pleasure to have Wayne here on the line. People, listen, there's no beat around the bush, man. When we talk about Elizabeth Taylor, we're talking about an absolute monumental person, a monumental personality, and such a trailblazer in a lot of ways. Elizabeth Taylor is a household name that so many people are familiar with. But the reason why I'm looking forward to this discussion is because Wayne happened to know her in a much different way than a lot of people did. You see, because he knew her in a much more personal way through exchanges and conversations that they had, the origin story behind their relationship as well as all of the things that they shared over the years of their friendship is something to be admired, man. It is something that you wouldn't have the opportunity to see in a lot of ways unless Wayne brought you this amazing book. So people, trust me when I tell you, there's a lot in store. This is not just a run-of-the-mill book about a celebrity or about a fan of that celebrity. This is going to be a much, much more in-depth and personal look into the life of one of our biggest stars. So sit back, strap in, and, make sure you're ready to head on over and purchase your copies, okay? Wayne, first and foremost, welcome to People of Distinction, and thank you very much for being a guest, sir. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing fine, thanks, Benji. Thank you for hosting me on your show.
Well, Wayne, look at, man, we're thoroughly looking forward to this. I mean, listen, who doesn't know Elizabeth Taylor, right? I mean, such a monumental figure, a magnetic force. And it really is a pleasure to have you here with us to discuss your personal relationship with her. Because, listen, as I mentioned at the top of the show, man, a lot of people have their own experience, but very few have the experience that you were blessed enough to have. And we can't wait to hear all about it, all right? We want to pick your brain and we want to learn about this magnificent journey that you've shared. First and foremost, though, Wayne, start off by telling us a little bit more about yourself and your background.
Oh, well, I've been a collector of memorabilia for about 30 years. And I think, most of my inspiration came from Elizabeth Taylor's sort of genre, so collecting her. I'm a writer in professional writing for training organisations, but this is I branched off into the development of the book or the project as a hobby to start with. Just to sort of stop me from collecting items of Elizabeth Taylor's.
Wayne, what inspired you to write this book, and how did your personal relationship with her shape the book's narrative?
Well, the inspiration, Benji, for the book came from my deep admiration for Elizabeth Taylor, obviously, and I wanted to share the intimate, behind-the-scenes connection that I've sort of developed with her over the years. Mm-hmm. And this book's not just, for me, not just a retelling of her life through a fan's lens. It's, for me, an intimate journey that reflects her personality, her passions and her legacy. And I mean, Elizabeth Taylor herself described the book in her own words as a very thoughtful and extensive volume. And I believe that it reflects how deeply my connection was with her, and obviously it influenced the way I narrated the story. It's not just about a Hollywood icon. It's about the woman who took time to answer my letters and send personal items and share moments of her life with me.
You know, Wayne, I think that's a great connection that you make, man. My next question that I want to go into, your collection of Elizabeth Taylor memorabilia plays a significant role in your book, right? We see this coming up a lot. Well, can you tell us more about these items, including the personal effects and letters, and how they enhance your storytelling and understanding of Elizabeth's life?
Well, the memorabilia in my book, to me, it's not just stuff. Each item tells a unique story, and it's as though I've been entrusted with pieces of Elizabeth's soul. I mean, from vintage shoes to whimsical treasures and letters that she's personally wrote, every artefact is a bridge to her private world. These items are not merely material objects. They represent moments, emotions and memories that I've shared with Elizabeth over the years. And for example, letters she wrote to me over the years became a kind of emotional thread, if you like, that weaves throughout each chapter of the book. The collection also includes items that came directly from her home, and I see them as tangible connections to Elizabeth's life she lived, or the life she lived, rather, her style and her spirit. Every item is a tangible extension of the woman I admired, and by including them in my book, I wanted to give readers a more personal and intimate understanding of the Queen of Hollywood.
Wayne, I want to ask now, man, how did your relationship with Elizabeth Taylor evolve over the years? And what impact did it have on your own understanding of celebrity, fame, and personal connection?
Well, it all started as a fan mail, which evolved into a genuine friendship with letters and cards and personal items exchanged with Elizabeth over the years. Elizabeth, for me, despite her own enormous fame, has always made time to engage with me and probably other fans as well. And our correspondence was more than just a fan's dream. For me, it became a window into the complexities of celebrity life. So through her, I learned that celebrities are just like the rest of us. They long for connection and understanding and love. She once told me fame can be isolating, but it's people like you, she said, that make it worth it. And simply, the yet profound statement changed how I viewed celebrity, really. I mean, it's not about the glitz or the glamour, but about the real human connection we make. And writing this book, for me, was my way of honouring that lesson and of keeping her legacy alive, not just as a star, but as a person who valued true connections above all else.
People, again, we're here on the line with the impressive Wayne Griffin. We're discussing his amazing book, Elizabeth Taylor, My Celebrity Connection, available for purchase through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and a whole host of other places. Check out his personal site, though. If you want to gather everything that he has in store, that's Elizabeth Taylor, My Celebrity Connection.info. There, you're going to gather so much more information and really a one-stop shop on this whole experience, man. Check out that personal site before you do anything else. You know, Wayne, I love what you said a moment ago because, listen, man, let's call a spade a spade. You know, we as everyday people, we view celebrities and we're just awestruck by them, right? We're so taken by what we see or what we read and hear about them. And your story is magnificent because you were able to see a side of things that very few are ever able to witness. You were able to see through a lot of the facade and get to her as the person she was, not the celebrity that she was known to be. And this is, I think, where so much of the power lies in your book, man. And listen, it leads me to my next question. I'm curious to know, what do you think people misunderstood about Elizabeth Taylor as a person?
I think people misunderstood her in regards to, her flight through the 8 marriages. I mean, they misunderstood that. They took it as quite a wrong interpretation of what she was all about. I mean, she just wanted to be loved, and she was all about love. I mean, and I think from sort of the bad relationship she had with her father, and he was quite abusive through the years with her and her mother. So, and I guess in losing her father too at sort of a relatively young age, she wanted that man. Like Mike Todd was that man. Richard Burton, they were strong men, and they held her in good stead, and she needed that support.
Yeah. Wayne, how do you believe Elizabeth's legacy influenced the world even beyond her Hollywood career?
Well, I think her legacy was her humanitarian. Her work she did with HIV, and that became bigger than all the pieces. That became her legacy. Her films, yes, they were there, but she never really aspired to be what we wanted to be, a huge, big, famous actress. She quite often took acting as a bit of a joke. So it was just something she did, and something she sort of managed to make, turn into a brand of her own, and it wasn't dictated by the studios anymore, and she was in control. She was a woman in power, and having that power means she can create any kind of legacy about herself that she wanted. So she was quite humane, and I think she had a lot of loving people around her, but she lost a lot of loving people too. So her main legacy that will continue on, as far as I know, will be her legacy for humanitarian causes.
Wayne, what would you say was the most fulfilling part of revisiting your time with her during this writing process?
I think the most fulfilling part has been the correspondence with Elizabeth, and has been the birthday cards, the Christmas cards, the stuff that nobody gets that. I mean, not many fans get that. Fans these days get a selfie if they're lucky at the red carpet, but to get a Christmas card or a birthday card from such an iconic person, I look at that and I smile, and it brings so much joy. And it's also nice, I guess, to share that side of Elizabeth Taylor with the world, because she would sit and probably write for hours and get cards out of the drawer and fill them in and send them off to people. So, I mean, and I've even, she's handwritten the envelopes on many occasions. So, very dedicated to her fans and to people that follow her, I would think.
Well, listen, as we start to close out of here, Wayne, I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier. Now you said in passing how Elizabeth was able to see the book before her passing. Now, of course, that was an earlier version, but I'm curious to know, Wayne, how do you think Elizabeth Taylor would have reacted to this iteration of the book?
Wow, this is a good question, because she has reacted to my book. She did get a copy of the manuscript about 10 months before she passed away in 2011. The very original manuscript. Of course, it's been worked on over the years and become, what it is now. But she has actually signed the manuscript and corresponded in kind with some lovely words around, such an enormous volume of work, and how the manuscript that she read about the book brought back so many special memories for her. So that was a nice little thing for her to receive, I guess, towards which I didn't know was going to be towards the end of her life. But I mean, I was able to share that with her before her passing.
That is absolutely incredible, Wayne. The fact that you had that opportunity, man, and she was able to see that before her untimely passing. This is incredible. And listen, my final question here for you. Wayne, I understand what this project meant to you. I understand what it meant to Elizabeth Taylor prior to her passing, but what would you like your readers to take from the book?
Oh, I would love the readers just to, the unique thing about this one, Benji, is I've interjected QR codes as well throughout the volume. So I just want people to take, submerge themselves, not just in the words, but go into the QR codes and bring Elizabeth Taylor alive within the pages of my book, because that's the experience they're going to get. So, we might be talking about winning an Oscar, but we can click on a QR code and Elizabeth will all of a sudden, transform out of the pages, and there she is alive receiving the Oscar. So the concept is quite unique. It's never been done before, but it just adds volumes to the story, and it just provides that visual aspect for the readers. So I would really just love the readers to dive in and enjoy and click on the QR codes and enjoy the memorabilia and enjoy the experience that I've actually had with corresponding with Elizabeth Taylor over the years when she was alive.
People, listen, you got to head on over and pick up your copies. You know what, let me just start. We're here on the line once again, my final time saying it because I know you already got it, okay? We're talking to Wayne Griffin. We just finished discussing his amazing book, Elizabeth Taylor, My Celebrity Connection, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, but as it says right there on the screen, Elizabeth Taylor, My Celebrity Connection.info. Really is a one-stop shop for everything. Head on over there and pick up your copies because people understand this book is much larger than a collection of memorabilia. You're going to get a glimpse of a larger-than-life individual delivered from such an intimate perspective. There really is so much to be gained here, but if there's one thing that I'm taking from it, and believe me, there's a lot that I'm taking, but one thing in particular that I love is the message to live your life as authentically as possible. Elizabeth Taylor was a transcendent individual who represented authenticity to the very end. I want you to take that notion, purchase this book, and allow it to transform your lives. Because once you get past the glitz, the glam, the memorabilia, and you start to read in between the lines, that is exactly what this book is going to have to offer. Wayne, you've done something special here, man. And I truly appreciate it, man. I admire you for what you've done. And I'm truly grateful for you because this has been a true pleasure. Thank you for creating such an incredible book. Thank you for showcasing a side of Elizabeth Taylor that not many of us have ever been privy to, but most importantly, thank you for joining us here to discuss it through people of distinction.
Thank you, Benji. It's been an absolute delight.